I mean, they did a pretty good job. I'm having deja vu. Last time I stood here making a video for you guys, I was talking about how the Switch 2 and how it's gonna have an awesome lineup of video games with tons of third-party support, but you know what? I was getting ahead of myself a little because this guy, how has this thing had such a insane lifespan that Nintendo themselves are supporting it still? There are so many games coming to the Switch before the Switch 2 that when I was putting together this list, I found games that I hadn't even heard of. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles, what? One of the first games I found was Resistor. It releases in February, and it looks like Mario Kart mixed with Rocket League, mixed with Burnout, mixed with Pod Racer on the N64. I mean, the racing gameplay looks fantastic, but for a game that was revealed over a year ago, this is all we've seen so far. I want to see more from this game by this point, especially considering how much they're promising. A vivid open world, expansive narrative-driven story, extensive customization, and a lot more in this, believe it or not, what is a RPG. This opening cutscene and then transition into gameplay gives me a lot of hope for the narrative of this game. Sweet Caroline. My awful singing aside, by Sweet Caroline, another game I'd never heard of. It has a wonderful animation style that reminds me of old classic Disney movies. Oh, it's Carol. I'm gonna leave the singing in. I thought it was Caroline. It's not just a narrative point-and-click style adventure, it's a horror game. I don't know why we've never seen a horror game in this genre. At least I don't think I've seen it, but man, that works so well. Whoa, forget about the upcoming games. You're being hacked. Look at all the viruses. I mean, but do you not have Surfshark VPN? Do you not have the antivirus that's built into the app? Okay, this one's on me. You can use my Surfshark VPN. Bam! It's all fixed. Just like that. Man, how easy was that? Why don't you get yourself Surfshark VPN? Because this temporary one that I've given you, it expires in 10 minutes, so you better hurry up. So VPN is a virtual private network. It is exactly what it sounds like. It gives you a private network online so nobody can see what you're doing or access any of your information. Because like without a VPN, you're just freeballing it, masking your IP address and keeping things like your search history private. Did you know price discrimination is a thing? When you're shopping online for flights to other countries, you always get crazy fees and surcharges. But if you throw on a VPN and you put yourself into the country you want to go to, you'll actually be able to buy much more affordable and cheaper flights. And that's just one of many ways that Surfshark will literally pay for itself. Even with video games, you can do the same thing with Steam if you want to change your region. Then you also have everybody's favorite unblocking content. How many times have you tried watching a YouTube video that isn't available in your region? Well, guess what, YouTube? That is my region now. Surfshark offers thousands of servers in over 100 countries. They have 24/7 customer support. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can use one account on unlimited devices. Oh, what can it do? I know what you can do, and that's click the link below or go to surfshark.com/beatemup to not only get 4 extra months, but a special holiday time deal of an unbeatable price. It's cheaper than ever. You still get 4 months free. And this one that I gave you, ooh, it's running out. I'm Tiny Wood. You're about to get big savings, and I'm out of here. So for any Baldur's Gate 3 fans that are annoyed they can't currently play Baldur's Gate 3 on the Switch, Flint, Treasure of Oblivion might be the game for you. It's a real-time exploration and turn-based tactics game in the same genre. It has a strong and original narrative, and it just looks really polished. Do you like platformers? Yeah. What about vast hand-drawn environments with frame-by-frame animation? Well then, I got the game for you. The Eternal Life of Goldman. We've already had one game on this list that reminded me of old Disney animation. This one reminds me of Fern Gully's animation. And again, it looks awesome. Little Nightmares 3 is still on the way. This game probably doesn't need an introduction. It's an atmospheric adventure game where you and another player cooperate to find a way out of nowhere. I could probably get Kim to play this with me. It's not Stardew, but maybe. This is coming to Switch. Jesus Christ, what is that? I think I'm gonna have a seizure. I found this. It's called No Longer Human, and I'm not after watching it. I don't really know what, I don't know what is happening. Fun fact about me, I've never played a Rune Factory, despite many of you yelling at me too over the years. But Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma is on the way. It's a JRPG that blends monsters, farming, bond forming, and anime girls. You had me at anime girls. It's kind of like Stardew meets Final Fantasy, and I believe, I'm not sure, I was trying to look it up for this video, but I think that this Rune Factory is kind of a reimagining of the series, like going a slightly different direction than the formulaic approach that they've had. If you've been wanting a brand new Paper Mario style game, you already played Bug Fables, and you're looking for the next thing, I gotta tell you, Born of Bread looks really cool. It's inspired by Paper Mario, retaining the core RPG gameplay concepts from it, with the goal of curating what made those games so special, and visually it looks awesome. So far we've had old Disney movies, Fern Gully, and now this one is reminding me of like cartoons, kind of like Adventure Time or the regular show. I love this blending of 2D characters in a realistic world and it playing out like a classic Paper Mario. Yeah. You heard of Sonabi? Sonabi is an exhilarating and stylish dystopian action platformer. We use a prosthetic arm to zip around, dodge bullets, traps, and defeat enemies. The flow of this game seems really fast-paced and fun, and I will never get sick of the pixel art genre of games as long as they keep looking as sick as this. Those were a bunch of games you probably hadn't heard of. We do have some big releases on the way though, starting from Monolith Studios and Nintendo's own Xenoblade Chronicles X. The scale of Xenoblade games that I like on the Switch compared to the ones that I don't is about to get tipped. I just don't know which way yet because I played Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U for a little bit and I just didn't really gel with it. I am determined to give it another shot. For those that love Xenoblade 1 through 3, this one is unconnected from those games and plays a little differently, as the game's creator wanted to go a completely new direction with this one. It's more gameplay focused than story compared to the other games in the series, so if you want less of the blab blab and more of the fight, this one might be for you. I never even got a chance to really play through Ulterior Riser 3 on Switch. It stood out to me because it was like Breath of the Wild meets RPG meets anime girl. You know I love anime girls. So it's almost annoying that there's another one on the way, but the good thing is this one's Ulterior Yumiya, which features a new protagonist and a whole new story. It also features the same vast open area, field, world type gameplay that Ulterior Riser 3 featured, again making it feel like Breath of the Wild but in an RPG setting with a new Wi-Fi anime girl. So just like me, this might be a perfect place for a lot of you to jump into the series. There are some old cult classic JRPGs called Suikoden. Well, they're getting HD remasters. You've probably heard of that. And that's still on the way to come to Switch before Switch 2. And just like Rune Factory, there's another long-standing series of JRPGs called The Legend of Heroes that has a new game, Trails Through the Daybreak 2. Look, I never played Civ 6 on the Switch because I just imagined it to be very hard to play that game on a portable console. I never gave it a shot, but I guess it was good and did well because Civ 7 is also coming to the Switch. You know, Nintendo, when the Switch released, I guess they decided they would just re-release every Wii U game on the console because no one played them on Wii U. That's what's happening with Chronicles X. But with Chronicles X, that's the last one. I mean, really, like the last good one that we really need to get ported over from the Wii U. So now, since the Switch 2 isn't out yet, and Nintendo have ran out of Wii U games to port over, they're going back even further to the Wii and releasing Donkey Kong Country HD. Honestly, if we don't get the Switch 2 next year, if something happens for some reason, we might look forward to a ton of HD Wii ports on Nintendo pads the wait time. Donkey Kong Country for the Wii was a lot of fun, and it sits pretty well right next to Tropical Freeze. Another one I discovered while researching for this video that I actually thought was fake when I saw it at first. You know how Tomb Raider Remaster had the 1, 2, 3 that released on Switch and it was really good, made the games look better, and they were like 60 FPS? Well, they're also doing 4, 5, and 6. This is coming to the Switch, so we'll have 6 classic Tomb Raiders on the console. Even furthering my theory that the Switch 2 might have the new trilogy of Tomb Raider games, it'll be the one-stop place to play Tomb Raider. If you've ever wanted to date everything, even your toilet, you can date everything when that game comes to the Switch. If you've ever wanted to play Animal Crossing fine, but as a hobbit, you can do that when Tales of Shire come to the Switch. I can see this one going one of two ways, but hell, we'll take another Cozy Sim on the Switch. I mean, that's half the library. For the most part, all of those games have prices, release dates, and we know that they're happening sometime in the next few months. The next set of games, I gotta throw in here, because if I don't, people are gonna ask where they are. The thing is, we're all asking where they are. An example would be Metroid Prime 4. I will say though, it's nice that this is the first time in one of these upcoming games videos that I've made for the Switch where I can actually talk about Metroid Prime 4 and show more than just this logo. God, I got sick of not only seeing that, but downloading it and editing it and putting it into videos. I never want to see that again. Get out of here. Now we have actual gameplay, but still no release date. A lot of people are theorizing it might be a launch game for the Switch. I've never really thought that, as I expect Nintendo will have bigger plans, something like a Mario Kart 10. But it being cross-platform is definitely something I can see, with it being pushed even further into next year, maybe even seeing a holiday release. The only other game I think is shrouded in as much mystery and wait time as Metroid Prime 4 would be the indie gem Silksong. When this game releases is still a mystery, but what's not a mystery is its eventual Switch port. It'll happen. Sometimes people ask me, what videos do you wish you had made that you didn't? And one was my addiction to a little game called Snack World. This is gonna come out of nowhere because I didn't make the video, but I randomly picked up this Snack World game. I had never heard of it before, and I got completely absorbed in the gameplay loop and thought it was a very unique and fun experience. I played for hours. Well, regardless of me never talking about it until this very minute, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is developed by the same people and also just a very similar style of game. This one, however, seems to be borrowing a lot of elements from Animal Crossing, as certain gameplay screenshots could almost be a one-for-one comparison. But there's also RPG elements here, like picking class types, battles, crafting, and more, as you rebuild the island and explore the surrounding areas with up to 3 friends. Playing this game in co-op would be a lot of fun. Speaking of games that just are Animal Crossing, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You remember that old South Park clip of Butters saying that he's playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Well, Hello Kitty at some point decided to actually make that game, and they made it a mobile game, and they made it, unironically, actually kind of sick. It's like Animal Crossing, but has a bunch of its own unique concepts, and it executes them all really well. Has only been a mobile game up until now. We are finally getting console ports, and the Switch version is still on the way. Just like Metroid Prime, where is Pokemon Legends ZA going to fall on the Switch 2 and Switch hierarchy? They have said that it's coming to the Switch. We know that at the very least. Is this something we get on launch or the launch window, or again, is it something that gets pushed closer to the holiday season? Either way, I can see this being another dual release game next year for the Switch and the Switch 2. It's going to be really interesting to see how some of these games shake out and how much better they might look and play on the new hardware. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. Did you forget about this one? Because I kind of did. This one's an upcoming puzzle adventure game and part of the Professor Layton series, a series, by the way, that has sold 8 million units worldwide. So even if it's a game you haven't played or you're not looking forward to, it's clearly a game that sells very well and has a loyal fan base. And to get a game like that released on the Switch before the Switch 2 even releases is crazy. Just more sales for this console. I was trying to do research on what Yokai Watch exactly is coming to the Switch, and I don't know. Yokai Watch 4 famously never got an English release, but during the franchise's 10th anniversary, they announced a Yokai Watch game is in development for the Switch. I can't tell what it is though, as I said. I mean, they revealed concepts for something called Holy Horror Mansion, which adopts elements from the Yokai Watch formula, but in a new setting, but it's not part of the main series. But a new yokai game was announced for the Switch, so is that it? Is it finally an English version of 4? Couldn't figure it out looking online, so if you know, let me know down below. But something yokai is coming. Then we have Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Yes, there's another Capcom Fighting Collection, and I actually kind of care about this one. There's a bunch of games in here. There's like 8 games in here, but the 2 I care about, Power Stone 1 and 2. Power Stone was Dreamcast's answer to Smash Brothers. It's a very similar concept, a weird, goofy arena fighter. To be fair, they probably aged like milk. I can't imagine they're good to play now. A series that I've been yelled at to play and still haven't is Coffee Talk. And they have a new game, Coffee Talk Tokyo. It brings the beloved coffee brewing and heart-to-heart talking simulator to Tokyo, Japan. The warmth, heart, and delicious drinks from the previous games in an all-new cafe. And then in my confused research once again, there is a new Ys game coming to the Switch. I believe it's Ys The Oath of Felghana, which is actually a 2005 game, which at that point, it was a remake of Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys from 1990. So it's a 1990 remake of a 2005 game of a remake of something coming out now. Does that make sense? I've made a lot of these upcoming Switch game videos. It's a staple and something that I've always done. And I honestly didn't think I would do another one of these so close to the Switch too. But while looking at what's coming out, I was shocked at how many games are still releasing, and these are just the big ones. And my appreciation for how Nintendo and its third-party supporting companies have given this console love and made it one of the coolest systems to be a part of for 8 years is so high that I wanted to make this video to highlight that even now, even going into the end of December, we can look forward to 20, 30 more cool games releasing on this console. I think that's really special and needs to be appreciated. If you enjoyed this video or if it helped you, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.